morning from the Front Porch. I'm Steph Doyle, and I got a special guest with me this morning. It's John Boogie Signs, man. I'm sure a lot of you guys know this cat. He is drummer aficionado, man. Extraordinaire, right?
I guess.
Yeah, so John joined me on the Front Porch today, and of course it's a little cool this morning. You're going to hear a little bit of freezing rain in the background. We're pre-recording this for our Friday video cast. So if you hear a little bit of tinkling in the background, that's the ice crystals hitting the bushes, man. Because we are out in the elements today, right?
Loving it.
All right, so tell me a little bit about yourself, John. I mean, where are you from, man? Are you from this area?
I am a homeboy from Mount Pleasant, Maryland.
Sweet, man.
Yeah, I love it. God's country, we like to call it.
That's right,
yeah.
man. So you've been here in Maryland for all of your life,
all
right?
All my life, yes. Moved out to Mount Pleasant. Born in Frederick, moved out to Mount Pleasant when I was 7. And it was just glorious growing up out there.
Sweet.
Beautiful.
Sweet.
Beautiful.
So when did you get into the pounding on the drums or into the music?
Well, if I remember correctly, I was in 6th grade walking across the auditorium at Liberty Elementary School. I remember seeing, I love telling this story too, I remember seeing a blue sparkle Slingerland snare drum on a stand in the auditorium. I remember tapping on it. And that was like a lightning bolt. That was it. I was 11 years old and I said this. Because I got an acoustic guitar first from my grandmother. Couldn't tune it. Anybody who knows me knows I can't tune, can't sing, don't hear notes. I'm a drummer. So that fell by the wayside immediately. And that drum, man, just triggered it. Plus, you know it sounded good in the auditorium, right? Right.
Yeah, with all that extra acoustics and stuff in there.
Yeah.
So when you hit it, man, you can hear it coming back
man,
at
I was
you.
hitting it with my hands. Oh my God, this is beautiful. So yeah.
So that was going to be my next question: is what inspired you to start playing the drums? But it sounds like that drum was your inspiration right there, huh?
Yeah.
Blue Slingerland, huh?
Yeah, man. I guess it would be 70s. I got one now. I play in one of my groups. I got it from a friend. It's not my original one, but I have one that I play out in one of my bands, and it feels good. Got that old blue sparkle look to it. You can tell it's got some years. I think it's 70s.
Yeah, I remember those 70s drums that had the glitter shells, covers,
yeah,
man.
Mm-hmm.
That was really kind of appealing to me as well. And when I was actually in band when I was in junior high school. I started out playing the trumpet.
All right.
Like most kids, you play some kind of weird, odd instrument, until you discover what your true passion is.
Right.
And I went into wanting to play drums, because of all the glittery.
Right.
But so for some reason, the bass guitar just resonated with me the most. I think that's where my muse hit me and said, that's where you got to go. It's probably similar to you when you got hit with that lightning bolt,
I thought about it, like, why do I play drums? I thought about that. I think it's more like, because a musician with notes and harmonies, like, I'm not that. I think maybe I was drawn to the drums just to get it out. Like, I just gotta get that volume or just move that air. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess.
I'll tell you what, you're really impressive of moving that air, buddy.
I love it.
I'm telling you,
I love it.
One of the most amazing guys I've ever watched behind the kit.
Thank you.
So, do you remember what the name of your first band was?
Yeah, it's the Country Edition.
The Country Edition. So
yeah.
You're a country drummer, huh?
Well, I was Larry Kaiser, my good friend Larry Kaiser from Mount Pleasant. I'm 15 years old. I'm dating his daughter, and he had a country band. And a few weeks before, I went down to their rehearsal and played Wipeout and a few other things that I was just so into it already. And his drummer quit, and he says, "You're joining the band." I'm like, I'm not playing that hokey Chuck Wagon, Hank Williams crap, that AM radio. That's all my old man's truck. No, he's like, yes, you are. So we went and got my drums. I had some little note cards, and I didn't know the songs. I just wrote down Chuck Wagon, train beat, swing beat, straight beat, and he would call the song out, and I'd say, which beat is it? And I played the track in Pennsylvania. I was 15, yeah, Country Edition.
Sweet, man, that's cool.
Oh, great memory. Yes,
so
Larry Kaiser is responsible for me getting up off the couch And once you play that first gig, brother, you're hooked, man.
That's right, man.
Oh, you're hooked.
So how long were you in that band? Do you remember?
Yeah, from I was 15 and 16.
It's a couple of years, huh?
Yeah, it was good. Well, maybe into my 17 a little bit. 15, 16, maybe into 17.
That's cool, man. So you started out country and then just kind of evolved into all the different genres. I know you played many different genres.
Sort of. I mean, I've just recently started messing with some jazz stuff. Like I'm kind of I was kind of embarrassed that I can't play any jazz, right?
Right.
So I'm going to look into that. Now, I'll just play like rock, country rock,
right,
straight swing. Like the country band gave me called the Chuck Wagon beat and the swing stuff. I'm kind of glad I did that.
Yeah, you know what? I noticed you start getting into that swing stuff with the brushes.
Yeah, I'm in that's my
patterns.
New crusade. Yeah, baby, that's not easy, man.
I know, man.
Not easy, man.
I saw that, man. We went over that a little bit on Monday.
Yeah, right.
That was cool, man. So, have you ever had a Keith Moon experience? You know what I mean? The theatrics, like, you know, where you stand up and you don't knock your drums over and do all that crazy stuff?
Not really. Not unless someone would like to sponsor me with some drums. Maybe I could try that one.
Yeah,
but
when it's your own gear, right?
Yeah, I've always had just my stuff. So, I mean, I'm sure I've thrown some fits now. I've thrown some fits trying to learn songs like we all do, and got mad and kicked my hi-hat or threw my sticks across the room or pushed them because you can't believe how you cannot figure something out. But no, but that does sound kind of fun though.
Right.
Get me a second-hand kit. Right, we'll get a gig.
Now, I know you play a guitar sometimes.
A little bit.
You know, because I was over at John's house one time, and he pulled this guitar out, and he starts, like, chopping away at this bluesy riff, man, and I was like, holy crap, man, this dude's playing this really kick-ass line on this guitar, man, and I was really impressed with that, man. So are you still kind of working at that a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. I also have a goal to where I want to play guitar and sing a song or two on stage, even if it's just me or accompany someone. So I learned that from messing around in school with a little bit.
Right.
But when Straight Shooter Band was full throttle, and Bama and I were always, if not living together or rooming together, you know, when you play Ocean City 4 nights, come back, do Baltimore, D.C. with all the 1, 2, 3 pier dock bars, you're like a lot of daytime. So I would mess around with the EAB with him, and Bam was like, here, try this. And it kind of morphed into me having a guitar and just screwing around.
Right. Now, when he says Bama, he's talking about Paul.
Paul, yeah, he taught me a lot on that guitar because he's killer. He's blues to the max.
Yeah, I love Paul Avey. He does some great work. We've actually had him playing at parties at our house a couple of times.
He's excellent,
Two for the Road. And speaking of which, Two for the Road, if you ever want to see a really good acoustic act with just two guys, Craig Williams on the drums, Paul Avey on the guitar, that's a pretty good little get together there, man. They do a lot of private stuff mainly, but you can get them out in venues every now and then.
I mean, and plus you can't go to the bar or to the gig every day when you're out on the road, so you've got to stay in the room. Right. So you might as well play a little guitar.
There you go, man.
Right.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Not every day, some days.
So, you know, I know I get into deep conversations with you when I do the drum lessons with you, and we talk about stuff. And one of the things I've never really hit you up is, have you ever done any like original work? You know, like on original songs or any recording?
Yeah, I in my hoopty, I still spin my Straight Shooter CD once in a while. It's an EP. It's 6 songs. We had a really good run in Straight Shooter Band. It was 10 years, but the last like 3 or 4, when we were the opener for this band and that band and playing our EP, and it was original. That was cool, right?
Yeah.
It's called Long Shot. That was cool. And once in a while, it just feels good to hear because we wrote that in the trailer. We all lived in the trailer up in off of Frederick Road. So we had this little jukebox. We would Paul wrote about the whole, Bama wrote the whole CD. We would put it down and just put it on the BPM, figure it out, and just write it on a cassette and record it and get it sound. We had the whole thing done on a cassette in the living room at a trailer, then took it to Oz Studios and made a 6-song EP. It was excellent.
Fantastic.
I'd love to do it again.
You're going to have to give me a copy of that, man.
Killer.
I want to listen to it, man.
Yeah, man.
Sweet. Excellent. I'll make sure I get a copy from you.
Oh, I should have about the
And,
whole box.
you know, another thing, I know we talk about this a lot, but, you know, how well do you do improvisation? You know, where you just kind of break out and do your own thing, even though it's not maybe part of the song, you know, where you just want to kind of improvise.
Well, I think that's my weakest point. Because you got the adrenaline of the song. You know how we charge bass and drum. I'm charging through the song, just total support of the beat, the whole dance floor. And when the improv comes up, sometimes I feel like my adrenaline or my want to is too strong and my mind's racing. So if I was going to improve on something, it would be
Improvisation.
Yes, I know a gazillion licks and all, but I'd rather just set up and play the song, man.
Well, you know, one thing I really admire about John's playing is his hi-hat skills, man. This dude plays the hi-hat like no other. I mean, I've never seen anybody just focus and do such creative things on the hi-hat. And that's one of the things we're actually going over with our lessons.
Right.
Speaking of which, I was going to ask if you teach, and we know you teach. He teaches others. He teaches drum lessons at Making Music here in Frederick. And, man, what a great instructor he is. He follows through.
Thanks,
Makes
man.
sure you're doing your progression, keeps notes in your little notebook.
Yeah.
You know,
like a little keepsake from when we get old.
That's right,
Look back
man.
through the books and say, man, Boogie and I used to go in there on Mondays, right?
Yep.
Back in the yesteryear, yeah.
Doing those offbeats on the hi-hats.
It's fun, man. Teaching is excellent. It's like more like sharing or just, you know, you get it out, you just show someone what you've learned and they pick up their own way. Everybody's different. But I love it. It's a great way to spend a Monday because Mondays suck. So it's a great way. Making Music is an awesome store, by the way. Family owned, awesome place. I love
Reg and Pam.
Love it.
Love those guys.
Glad to be in there, yes.
Yep. And next thing I wanted to ask you is, you know, who are your favorite drummers? Who are the drummers that inspire you? Because I know as musicians we always have the people that we admire. We're just like, man, I'd really like to play like them or learn some of their licks or something like that. Do you have a drummer that...
I have to say it's Whipper Layton from Double Trouble because once I caught that boogie bug, man, you know, I had Kiss posters on my wall and Zeppelin and all that, which were killer. Man, once I heard Johnny Be Good and got into the boogie and the BB, all that came down. So coming up through the shuffles and the techniques of the blues guys, and Whipper Layton, Stevie Ray's drummer, is just unbelievably smooth. So I'd have to say I zeroed in on him hard with the earphones and the every Stevie album. So I'd have to say Whipper Layton. He's the baddest cat. He's the one that makes me want to get better.
You know, that's refreshing to hear that because a lot of guys would go to some of the really instant go-tos, you know, like Neil Peart or...
Right. You know, I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm not a big Rush fan. I'm not a big mathematical...
Right.
I would rather play a top 40 song, right? I'd rather be in Casey and the Sunshine's band or something that is just moving ahead than I would have to count to 12, 8, 10, 7, 5. That just doesn't appeal to me. It's no fun to me. So,
Sweet.
You know, I'm just not a mathematical drummer.
So as musicians, and I know I go through this all the time, we have our highs and our lows, you know. How do you know, when you get, let's say you got a gig coming up and you're kind of in one of these low periods, you know.
Right.
What do you do to try to work yourself through these low periods to get back that high, you know?
You mean like at the gig or just...
You know,
like,
prior to going in, I know sometimes I'll get butterflies or I'll be upset because something didn't go the way I wanted it to go. Or, you know, when I get to the stage, something's not working properly. Or
I'll tell you, my arthritis is killing me lately, so that's my low. My left hand is literally almost not listening to me.
Right.
So that's been a low. That's what you mean? That's been a low. So I've had to readjust. I've had to look at my height and balance and fulcrums. And I've had to, like, look in the mirror, and I've had to readjust some of my angles and things. So it's kind of, you know, you got to step inside. Or my bandmates, like if I'm going, well, gig day is fantastic. And you wake up, it's gig day. It's like Christmas.
Right.
Love waking up, it's gig day, right? So it's my bandmates. So I go see my buddy Kevin, David, Zach, I love them guys, Christy, Bobby, all my bandmates, Freddie, right? I just say, hey, what's happening, man? And within 10 seconds, they're like, hey, brother, then you're all right.
Right.
So your bandmates energize you to give you the shot.
Yeah, you know, that's one of the things I noticed with the bands I'm in, you know, No Exit and Unrefined, is they're such cool cool
It
people,
was
you
good
know.
to be around them.
And if there's a problem, we all work together as a team to try to sort through it and get. And if we see somebody's down, we try to bring them back up again. Whether it's relentless teasing or a little bit of prodding, or I know Kenny, the drummer from No Exit, he doesn't like people that are negative. And when somebody's negative, he will go, oh, we'll never make it, just like, and he'll just kind of prod them into.
That will ruin a band.
Yeah.
When it's not.
Yeah, you don't want that negative energy.
A friend of mine once told me, a musician friend of mine said, if it ain't fun, we're done.
Right.
And when he said that, I'm like, damn, you're right, dude. So, you got to keep the spirit up, baby.
That's right. That muse has to be right there on your shoulder all the time, just kind of whispering.
We're all like one basket of musicians' family, aren't we? We're all the same
Absolutely,
person.
Man. We love our
women.
Band family.
Men and women, yeah, excellent. Love it.
Absolutely. So, what are your current bands? I know Acute Triangle's one.
Love it. Love that group.
You got SlipBack.
Killer.
Any other groups you're playing with?
Freddie Long.
Freddie Long, that's right. Long and Boogie combo.
Long Boogie combo, which is, man, Freddie's already like 3 people. And when I came back and playing music after my divorce, I just wheeled my suitcase down Market Street, went into Olive, said, Freddie, I'm back, brother. I want back on the market. Freddie's like, what? I just set up beside him, and before you know it, man, we gelled hard, right? So Long Boogie combo, excellent 2-piece. It's I love it so much. It's a combo, not a duo, a combination of 2 dudes getting it done. Freddie also has FL3, which is a 3-piece band, so we do Bushwallers or wherever, bringing a badass bass player. So that's like 2 bands, right?
Really. Bobby Dodson sits in with you guys sometimes, right?
Yeah, Freddie's got a whole string of bass players, all quality.
Sweet.
Billy Harrington and myself. Right?
Yeah, Billy, that's right.
Billy's unique. Billy's a drummer from Lincoln High School who also plays guitar.
Right.
So, me and Billy get together to Anchor Bar, have fun. So I guess Billy and Boogie, Long Boogie combo, FL3, Acute Triangle, which I love that, and SlipBack. So Kevin Nykerk tears that new Stratocaster. Kevin went shopping the other day and bought it.
You, I saw
he dropped
that,
some coin, baby. He said, Boogie. He called me like a little kid on the way home from the guitar store. He says, man, I got it, baby. I could not leave it there. He dropped some G's on that thing.
I'll tell you what, man. Kevin can make that guitar bluesy. He's such a great bluesy guitarist. He's incredible.
SlipBack's unique, good band, different.
I love the flavor of his guitar playing just for that reason. And when I was in San Antonio, I used to spend a lot of time in Austin up on 6th Street. And we would see those kind of guitar players up there, the ZZ Top type of guitarist.
Yeah, just wicked, baby.
Stevie Ray,
wicked
guitarist, And Kevin, he
brought another flavor. He brought a flavor back home, like the Orleans, like the Shake 'Em Up songs he plays, like the rhythms. He said, "Boogie, we're gonna do this different." I'm like, he called me on the way up the road. He says, "I'm coming home." I'm like, "Really?" I ain't seen him in 30 years. I'm coming home. I said, "Well, don't tell anybody. You still playing guitar?" He said, "Yeah, you still playing drums?" I said, "Every day." I said, "Don't tell anybody you're coming because you're mine. Don't you tell anybody because we'll all be fighting over you." So he drove all the way up to Florida, met me at the Buckystown pub at an open jam. We drugged some stuff out and played music that night. He said, "I've been on the road for
That's so cool, man."
Nykerk's killer.
He is killer.
Badass.
We got to get him on the porch, man.
Oh, he'd love it.
Yeah. Kevin, did you hear what we said, man?
You're on deck.
We got to get you on the porch, buddy. I want to talk to you.
Right on.
So that's cool. So what we'll do is at the end of this video, I'm going to post some of the events where Boogie's going to be playing this coming weekend or a week from now.
Yeah.
Whenever your next events are going to be, we'll put those up at the end of this video, along with the Razzle Report. So Razzle Markel, man, that dude, love that.
Yeah.
So you're on social media. I see you on social media, but I know you're not really a active person on social media so much on your personal page as you are on your band pages.
Yeah,
so,
we know how the media is, man. It's aggravating.
Right.
I mean, it's a great tool, but texting is dangerous because it never is reread like you're trying to send a message.
Right.
We all get in little squabbles because you write it one way. So I try to limit that.
Right.
But I have a promo page, which is mine, which I put up. It's I invited everyone to get 200 and some members, and that's how I send out my note. I got to get better. My friends say, Johnny, I didn't know you were playing last week. Like, that's impossible because it's all over. I'm trying to do a monthly.
You do a great job.
I'm trying, man.
You do a really good job with social media.
I just want to play some songs.
Right.
The administrative gets on my nerves.
Yeah, you get on Everything Frederick page, which is a really good page.
Yes.
And then what, the Frederick Music?
Frederick Musician.
Yeah, that's...
Musician Friends or something. Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 out there to help.
And I'll put those links in the description on our YouTube channel when we put this episode up. We'll have links to Johnny's page. We'll have links to some of the other Frederick happenings pages. And, of course, the Razzle Report.
Right on.
So, hey, man, I really appreciate you joining me on the Front Porch this morning,
brother,
man.
It's my pleasure.
Absolutely, man. So, John and I are going to sit here. We're going to finish our coffee. Hey, what are you drinking, man? I made something special for him this morning.
That is from India.
Chai latte.
Okay, yeah, that.
Yeah, he's having a nice chai latte, and I drink my coffee black. I don't put nothing in it. No sugar, no cream. Just straight up, man. Black coffee drinker, and I like to drink a French roast, a really dark roast. So the reason I brought that up is because somebody asked me over the weekend, hey man, what are you guys drinking in those cups? So we'll let you know every episode what we're drinking in these cups at the end of the episode. So once again, man, cheers.
Cheers, brother.
Fantastic. It's been great talking to John, and we'll see you next week on the Front Porch.
Live
Take care.
music, baby. Live music.
Peace.
Later.